ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः ध्यान्तं न
विदुषुराः
तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
हरि ओम गुरुजी।
हरि ओम। Let's start from 31. आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपः
आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपः
नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद
नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद
विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यम्
विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यम्
न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्
न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धः
कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धः
लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः
लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः
ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे
ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे
येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः
येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः।
तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व
तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व
जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्य राज्यं समृद्धम्
जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धम्।
मयैवैते निहताः पूर्वमेव
मयैवैते निहिताः पूर्वमेव
निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन्
निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन्।
द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च
द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च
कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान्
कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान्
मया हतांस्त्वं जहिमा व्यथिष्ठाः
मया हतांस्त्वं जहिमा व्यतिष्ठा।
युध्यस्व जेतासि रणे सपत्नान्
युध्यस्व जेतासि रणे सपत्नान्।
सञ्जय उवाच
सञ्जय उवाच
एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम्
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम्
स गद्गदं भीतभीतः प्रणम्य
स गद्गदं पीतभीतः प्रणम्य
So now Sanjay is intervening. So a lot of things have happened. And Sanjay is saying, Etad Shrutva Vachanam Keshavasya. A simple statement. Keshavasya Vachanam. Etad Vachanam Shrutva. Having heard all this that Krishna had said, simply hearing is not enough. In order for some transformation to take place, the hearing must be processed, right? And some inner transformation must have happened. Some new insights must have been gained. And so, Shrutva, Jnatva cha. Jnatva means having understood so many things that he did not know before. Arjuna did not know before. And what are some of the things he did not know? Krishna was Ishvara, that he knew. But Ishvara idea is not clear yet. Paroksha Ishvaraha, the controller, the Srishtikarta, he created the world, okay. He maintains the world, and then he also, and when he gets bored, he destroys the world also. So this is the idea of God. And Arjuna says, this idea of God is childish. Okay? Ishvara karma phala data. Karma belongs to me. Karma belongs to me. Action, I am responsible for action, for doing what is to be done. But the results don't belong to me. Results can belong to me, but results are not given by me. I don't decide the results. Okay? Karmani eva adhikarahate ma phaleshu kadachana. Bhagavan makes a very bold statement. He says, adhikara, you have the right to act, my dear friend. Don't say I am helpless. That is what Krishna is saying. And so, and if a situation appears helpless, then you let go. Of course, that is the idea. And so, Bhagavan is not deciding everybody's fate. One doesn't decide. Exactly like court system in any part of the world, the judge is sitting right in front and the case is being argued. And finally, the judge is reading out the judgment. And a punishment is given to the perpetrator, to the one who is concluded as the perpetrator of the crime. And the judge gives punishment. The criminal should not think the judge is punishing me. No, the judge is not punishing me. Judge says, this is all, I am helpless. This is how it is. You have done it. You have to get this punishment according to the law. This is the punishment. So the judge is only a nimitta matram. Look at that, right? Nimitta matram. That judge has to be nimitta matram. Otherwise, the judge is biased. Partiality, this, that, belonging to a particular party or some mafia don, this, that. No. So that is the beauty of a justice system. Justice system to work properly, you need judges who are unaffected by all these. They understand what's all going on, but they are not taking sides. And so exactly like the judge cannot be prosecuted because you gave him punishment. No, nobody prosecutes a judge. Okay, unless it's some countries where they shoot judges. Okay, but then so exactly like that situation. We all must be in that situation. Arjuna begins to recognize that slowly. The laws, exactly like the gravitation works exactly what it does, what it's supposed to do. And if you go up some few kilometers up, then it doesn't work like the way it works here. It seems weaker. And you go further up, then one can float. And so that is the way it is. Bhagavan cannot interfere in that. Even the law of gravitation, which is created by Bhagavan, and for a change, he can do something. So I'm a bhakta and I'm going to the airport, I'm late. I'm going to miss my flight. So I pray to Bhagavan, do something. Then what he will do? He will suddenly make all the traffic light green for me, green, 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 green. Keep going. Keep going. We can't do that. Even Bhagavan, the greatest bhakta has to miss the flight. Okay? That is our understanding. And so, therefore, this idea of the God that we have, or Arjuna had, he is slowly beginning to understand that that's a childish idea of God. Being angry with Bhagavan, all these are short-sighted, childish. And so, is Bhagavan cruel or compassionate? We ask. That question itself is wrong. Question itself is wrong. And what is this? Is the judge cruel or compassionate? Means judge is neither cruel nor compassionate. Just karma phala data. That's what the judge is. So therefore, neither impartial nor partial nor cruel nor compassionate. That's the way we understand it. That's the way Arjuna is beginning to understand. And so, saw a video recently. Some short video was there. So, they come up with this YouTube shorts, they call it. And you go there and suddenly the short video comes up. And somehow YouTube knows what topics you like to see. So it'll come up. Sai Deepak will come. Or the people I watch, it knows exactly this guy likes these people. And so those people come. Occasionally some other things will come. And so somebody was talking. And a sannyasi was talking. And life is like climbing a mountain. And so we all want to go up, climb up, reach the peak, right? Then he says, why don't we smile while climbing up? Why don't you smile? Like that, that is the point of that short message. I can cry and climb up, or I can smile and climb. Correct. That's what he says is right. So why don't I smile while climbing? And then I saw the comments at the bottom of the thing. This is not a short, I think. This is probably a video. And many comments were there. And rightly so. Many comments were. What were the comments? It's easy for you to say that. Easy. Easy for you to say that. To say climb as a laugh, smile, when all hell is breaking loose in my house, and you're asking me to smile. It's not possible to smile. No. So they are correct. Those comments are correct. That's why we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. We have to be practical in giving advice. We can't simply say smile and all. And the way to smile is by going to the Shastra. Otherwise, it's impossible to smile. There is every reason to go crazy in this world. There's every reason to become insane. And so we can't say smile and all. That is why our Shastra, Vedanta Patanam is not that. It's not like listening to motivational speeches. There are very good motivational speakers. They do a very good job. They go to corporations and they do a wonderful job. 1 hour, they will just, okay, they will, all the audience is at awe. Okay. And Vedanta is not motivational speaking. Vedanta is understanding realities. And by understanding realities, my attitude will, of course, change. Because when the cause is changed, then the effect also will get changed, right? And so that is what we are after here. And so there is no pep talk. That is why first chapter, second chapter, first chapter and all, Krishna, whatever words he spoke initially, before the 11th chapter. What is this? You're behaving in an unmanly manner. That's all pep talk. That is not Shastra. It's just general advice we give to each other, Come on, get up. Don't feel sad like that. Don't feel. But I feel sad. What do I do? Don't feel sad. A feeling is not asking me permission what to do. That is my problem. If it were to ask me permission, I said, no, stay right there. Stay right there. You should not enter there. That is my Lakshman Rekha. Okay. I can tell Dukkham, Lakshman Rekha, but it's not working that way. So therefore, this is an eye opener for Arjuna. Eye opener. Why Adhyaya is saying Etat Shrutva. Yeah. And so therefore, this instinct to survive is there. Instinct to survive and perpetuate this life. That's how we seem to be. That's fine. That's how the living being is created. But human being is not just a living being. Nobody will like. In fact, to say that a human being is an animal is an insult. It's an insult. Why it's an insult? You're an animal if you say. That means it's an insult. Because there is something that differentiates this human being. And that's why we study the Shastra. Otherwise, it's impossible to come out of this grip of fear. Not possible at all. And the sooner we come out of this obsession with this human body, I am this as good as this body. I am as good as my mind. So that Upadesha that Arjuna is getting from Sri Krishna. And so now Arjuna's attitude is what it was one of Ascharya before, right? Wonder. Vishwarupa Darshanam is a wonder. And he's getting a bonus that nobody else got before. And so Ascharya, then Bhayam, because he saw things that he didn't expect. He expected some very nice, beautiful things, I suppose. And so he got scared seeing all the activities going on. And appears as though Krishna was predicting the future of this war. And his own people he saw in this Vishwarupa Darshanam. And so it shook him up. And so Bhaya, from Ascharya went to Bhaya. Now it's going to transition. Transition to Bhakti, Sharanagati. Okay. That's what we are going to be seeing here. Indicated, Nimittamatram Bhava is an indication of that Sharanagati. What is a Sharanagati? Karmani eva adhikaraha te. You cannot surrender your free will. Don't surrender your free will. You say surrender, you mean surrender the idea that I control the outcomes. Surrender the idea that I am of no use. Surrender the idea that I am helpless. No, nobody is helpless. Even to say I am helpless, I am saying because I know that I am not helpless. But yet I feel helpless. And so I need some help. So surrender all these ideas. Stop resisting and seek help if needed. And therefore, that is a surrender. Surrender all childish notions of Bhagavan. Surrender the free will to Ishvara means what? Surrender, I use my free will to do what I like to do, driven by Ragadvesha. But then surrender it to Ishvara means Ishvara is Dharma. Ramaha Vigrahavan Dharma. And so I surrender my Ragadvesha to Dharma. Correct? Look at how beautiful it is. Then I become that's when I'm living my life. When I follow Dharma, however painful it is, I can say I'm doing what I'm supposed to do at this moment. And so that makes the life more purposeful for a human being. So surrendering free will and saying that he controls everything, she controls everything, you have to know who's controlling what. Like Swamiji said the other day, act as though I control everything. Correct? Act as though I control everything. And then once the action is done, accept as though I don't control anything. Correct? Accept as though Bhagavan controls all outcomes. I think that's a great attitude to have. I think we need that. We need that attitude at least to begin with. But here, attitude backed up by knowledge. Why that is so? It is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Therefore, ye tat shrutva vachanam keshavasya vachanam. Keshavaha Krishnasya vachanam shrutva. And what is the vachanam? Earlier he said in the 9th chapter itself, Name dveshyosti name priyaha. I don't hate anybody. I don't have anybody who is very dear to me. Even though Krishna said in some places, Arjuna, you are very dear to me. Like that he said. But don't take it literally. Don't take it literally. It's not like Krishna has favorites. So samoham sarva bhuteshu, like that he said in chapter 9. Shloka number 29. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha. Like that he said. And but then what about this? When things don't work well in our society, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. God will come. When things are really tough, he comes in the form of an avatara and then set things right. Shouldn't I expect avatara? Yeah, you can expect avatara, but not by surrendering what I'm supposed to do now. Okay, the avatara doesn't mean I keep quiet to what's going on. Do what is to be done. Whatever happens, let it happen. If avatara has to come, let Bhagavan come. And I can pray. Prayer is a very important part of what I do in my day, typical day. And so if I have to pray for an avatara, let me pray for an avatara. Because its life is tough. My family life is tough. In society also, life could be tough. The countries are still like that, where there is no law and order. No law and order. And so we can't wait for avatara for dharma to be established. What about now, right now, when avatara is not there, no dharma is there? I know what is dharma. People know what is dharma. So dharma is there very much, even though avatara may not be there. And who is to decide what is avatara anyway? Correct? We may consider Modi to be an avatar. We may consider Yogi Adityanath to be an avatar. We do that. Look at what's happening today. And Chicago-style mafia work is going on in UP. And finally, a man comes and says, no mafia will rule this country. That is what he says. We will not allow the law and order to be just trampled upon just like that. He makes a bold statement. Okay? And so that's what is going on. So this avatara idea, we have to review. Okay? So Bhagavan has said so many things. Ahameva akshaya kalaha. And time, he says. 2 or 3 times he says, Ahameva akshaya kalaha. Then kalaha kalayatamaham. And then even in this chapter, 11th chapter, kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravriddhaha. Just now we chanted. So he keeps saying, I'm time, I'm time. What is the meaning of that? I'm time. Everything is viewed with the prism of time. Akashaha and Kala. Everything is viewed with the prism of time. Young, old, historical monument, everything, time. And then time also takes him. Whatever is there, time takes him. So time is a powerful force. And he says that. Then he says, Vrishninam Vasudevos. I am Krishna, he says. I am Vasudeva. He doesn't say I am Krishna. I am Vasudeva, he says. And then again he says, Pandavanam Dhananjaya. So quietly, this is 10th chapter, right? And Vibhuti Yoga. So I am Vasudeva, I am time also, then I'm you also, Arjuna, I'm you. So he's quietly saying I'm everything without, and then listing in the process of listing. Instead of making a statement, Aham Sarvabhyapti, I am what is there everywhere. And their everywhere statement can't be understood unless we take a few steps. But that is the approach Krishna is taking. I'm Vasudeva, then I'm Krishna. I mean, I'm Arjuna, I'm you, my dear friend, I'm you, I'm not separate from you. And then what about others? Muninamapyaham Vyasaha, he says. Only people now, what about past? Yeah, past also, I was the one. I am Vyasa. I was Vyasa. I am Vyasa. Okay. Then what about only human beings? You are really human beings? No. Plants also I am. Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam. So he suddenly went to plant world. What about animals? You're not any animals? No. Jashanam, Makarastasmi. Makar. Makar bolte hain. Shark, crocodile, all these animals. Among aquatic creatures, I am the glory of the shark and the crocodile. You see these animals. You ever see them in the wild? Putting them in a cage and then looking at them. I think it's a sad way to. Crocodile is not supposed to be caged. Shark is not supposed to be caged. I don't think so. It's supposed to swim miles and miles. Miles it is supposed to swim. And you stop that. That means something is, we are forcing that animal to behave in a way it's not supposed to be. And so see it in the wild. Yeah. And so plants, animals, only earth? No. Non-earth also. Nakshatranam aham shashi. And so among the nakshatras, I am shashi. But shashi is moon. Moon is not, moonlight is reflected light. That's all. You're only reflected light? No, no, no. Jyotisham Ravi Ramshumam. Among all self-luminous objects, I am sun, etc. He says, which means he's covered the entire cosmos. Kalaha, Akasha, entire space, everything is covered. So without actually telling it, he's giving a list. The last chapter we saw all that. So, therefore what? Do I run this world? Does Bhagavan run this world? Somebody asked the question. How are we going to respond to that? As children, we learned that that is a true statement. Bhagavan runs this world. Bhagavan created the world, then he runs the world, and then some pralaya happens. All destruction also is done by Bhagavan. And that's what we have studied. So we have given agency to Bhagavan, kartritvam to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is saying, hey, you are not a karta. He is telling us we are not kartas. What about Bhagavan? Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. That's what he says. I don't have anything to do because I don't have kartritvam. That is why there is nothing to do. The minute I have kartritvam, there is always things to do. No, karta can never say I have nothing to do. Not possible. Not possible. Because the time is there. History is on. It's ongoing. Things are happening, whether I like it or not. And so, therefore, this idea that Bhagavan runs the world, that Arjuna was thinking like that. You run the world. No, I don't run the world. Dharma is already there. I am not separate from Dharma. And Dharma is there, and and so through Dharma, I am running the world. It is the order. It is the niyama for the plant to grow like this. If it has the right nutrition. And if it is all sun, and no water, then the plant will also perish. That is also part of the niyama. That is the dharma. So that is how I manifest in this world. Therefore, it may look like I control the world, but keep your eyes on dharma. And so this is why Shastra, studying the Shastra was so important. So that we can grow out of our childish ideas and come to Be ready to face the realities. And we are all ready also as adults. We do become emotionally ready to handle tough situations. And that's the right time to come to the Shastram. And so, Yetat Shrutva Keshavasya Vachanam. Arjuna, a lot of Arjuna has been processing a lot. He has to interpret all this, what all he saw. And we also need to interpret. And so, Kritanjalihi Vepamanaha. Kritanjalihi in this form. In this form, Kritanjalihi. Folded hands. Like in WhatsApp, they provide folded hands. It's a nice icon to have. Everybody's sending all these things. Namaskar, namaste, namaskar. Very nice. I think it's a beautiful gesture. I think I hats off to this icon. An icon does something to you. I think it just says it just calms you down. You look at this, just calm down. And so this is Kritanjali. Vepamanaha. But Vepamana. Vep company. कामता है कामते हुए अर्जुन कामते हुए नमस्कार करता है so that's the idea vepamanaha trembling shaking quivering okay why well he has processed a lot and there's a lot to digest here and even though Arjuna he was unafraid of death. Arjuna is not a guy who's afraid of death. So why should he tremble? Because dharma is like that. We may be experts in something or the other, but still the fear is always lurking behind. So something will cause fear to someone. Okay? And so Arjuna also is subject to all the laws of this universe. And so Vepamanaha, Kiriti. Adhyaya is telling, therefore Kiriti is Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachan. Okay? Subject of the sentence, Kiriti. Kritanjalihi Vepamanaha. So Kiriti means a Kirita. Kiritam is this crown. This crown, I think is what they call it. So one who has a crown is called a Kiriti. So it's equal to Arjuna. Arjuna. Then Namaskritva Bhuya Eva Krishnam. Okay, Krishnam Namaskritva. Krishnam Namaskritva. So Namaskritva is Arsha Prayoga. Namaskritva is a wrong use. You and I are writing Sanskrit, we should not say Namaskritva. What will you say?
Namami Namaskaram.
Namastubhyam.
Namaskritya.
Namaskritya. Lyap. Lyabanta vyam. Not Tvanta. Lyabant, right? Agamya, not Agatva. Gatva is correct, but Agatva is wrong. Agamya. When there is a prefix to a dhatu, Tva will not apply. Lyap will apply. So having done Namaskara, that is the meaning of the word Namaskritva. And Bhuya eva, once again Namaskritva. And so that indicates that Sharanagati Bhavana. So Arjuna never had that Bhavana before. Now that is being expressed through Arjuna. That I have to really surrender all my ideas about life. All my ideas. All childish ideas about life. He, she, and this, that, and loved ones and unloved ones, and all that is there. All those, many of those ideas I grew up with, but it's time to grow out of some of those ideas. So I must surrender to the laws of the universe. I must surrender to dharma. I must see that the law of the universe is Ishvara. Not Bhagavan sitting out there and then saying, thou shalt follow these laws. No, that is also a childish idea. So I must give up that. I must give up my resistance to what is happening. Because there are things that are happening that I don't like. And immediately resistance. Immediately some reaction happens. Surrender. Surrender means what? accept what comes, and do whatever needs to be done. Do whatever needs to be done. Why? Krishna said that. Where did he say that? Huh? Where did Krishna say you can't be sitting quietly?
Padyammasmakam Partha.
Okay, that is pep talk. What about in the once the teaching started?
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
Yeah, karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma karma phalaheturkuhu. Hey, you don't decide the outcomes of your actions. Immediate question will be, the thinking person will, what will they say? So why should I do? If I don't decide the outcomes, why should I do what? I will just keep quiet, let things happen. And he says, Ma karma phalaheturkuhu. Ma te sangostva karmani. Don't be attached to inaction. Don't ever say, just because this is a fact doesn't mean you're not supposed to do. You're the only being in this world who can do. And please continue doing. That's so important. That is why people who are active, are generally sane. Generally, there's something to do, and they generally they keep doing something. And so that keeps them sane. And so that's very important. Yeah. Therefore, resist all these, surrender all these notions that I am not in control and I'm a small speck. Just true, I'm a small speck. But a small speck has kartrutvam. A small speck also has kartrutvam and some capacity is there. Uddhared atmanatmanam, natmanam avasadayet. Very important. Therefore, stop complaining and stop doing what you feel like. I feel like forwarding this video into the WhatsApp. Somebody said recently in our own group, you see the irony. The irony is Krishna says, don't do what you feel like doing. Do what you're supposed to do. And still I feel like forwarding this video. This is the thought that came into my head when I saw that message. I felt like sending the video. 4-minute video. Where is the time to watch 4-minute video? I don't have time to watch a 4-minute video. Really, I don't. I felt like forwarding the video. And we are all supposed to be Bhagavad Gita students. We are not supposed to do what we feel like doing. And so, therefore, I will act as though I control everything. And then I will then watch what happens. Then accept whatever happens as prasada. Okay, that's what is surrender. There's no physical giving up in surrender. We're not physically giving up anything. All notions, all wrong ideas are all given up. Namaha. When I say Om Krishnaya Namaha, is what? Namaha is surrender. Namaskritva. Surrender. That Namaha word means surrender. There's a famous series of talks by Puja Swami. The title of the talk is Namaha. Namaha means surrender. Surrender means all these ideas, all these this ideas we discussed just now. Only all my pet ideas, I must be willing to surrender. Am I willing to surrender my pet ideas? Because all of us have pet ideas. And so they may be pet ideas, but then wrong ideas, not useful at all for us. Therefore, so all these childish ideas, I must surrender. It's a beautiful appreciation of what is. Karmani eva adhikara. Te ma paleshu kadachana. Adhikaraha, he says. Krishna says, only you can do. Krishna says, even I can't do, my dear friend. Only you can do. I can't do, but you can do because you are a karta. Yes, you have to know that you are not a karta, but until then, you do keep doing. Even after knowing that you are an akarta, you are supposed to do. Okay. There, that becomes enlightened kartrutvam. And here, unenlightened kartrutvam follow dharma. Because dharma you know very well. And so, that's the beauty. And said, therefore, it's inspiring to hear it. And so dharma becomes important. Dharma is that's why dharma is very basic. And to do what you have to do, and despite a lot of difficulties, and I saw a video recently. There is a lady, a sportsman. Her name is Heather Dorniden. Heather Dorniden. Okay. And she's in the US. She's a runner. And I saw a video of her. 2008. Some indoor track and field championships were going on. And this woman, she's running. It's a 600 meters race. She runs. And then number one, almost she's going to be number one. And then she trips and falls because the number two comes very close to her. And it appeared to me that this lady, the number two, purposely put her leg there. But that's not important. And she falls down. Heather falls down. And imagine running at a high speed and falling down. Okay. Any injury can happen. She then falls down. And then the race is going on. People are all charging ahead. She gets up. She runs. And she gets the first prize. Okay. This is the race it is. I tell myself, our life also can be like that. It's a race is going on very much. And there it is very obvious. So many thousands of people are watching and saying, come on. And they're saying, our life may not be not that dramatic. Not that dramatic, but that's what it is. We fall down periodically. We have to get up and we have to move on. And move on because that is dharma. But then dharma leads us to moksha. So there is something else also waiting beyond dharma. Dharma is not the end game for us. Okay. And so, therefore, Krishnam bhuya eva namaskritva. Bhuya eva namaskritva. Bhakti is indicated. Bhuya means once again. Once again. Kritanjalihi itself is enough. Kritanjalihi means namaskritva. Then again namaskritva. Sanjaya says. And then what? Sagadgadam. Sagadgadam. Very interesting word. Sagadgadam. Choked voice, faltering voice, shaky voice, unsure, seemingly unsure of what he's saying. And I looked up the meaning of Sagadgadam, the dictionary. You know what they say? It says, very interesting, Lukta Pada Vyanjanabhidayi means a person who is speaking, but Lukta Pada, some words are missing, it seems. And as Lukta Pada Vyanjana, some consonants are also missing. If a word is there, consonant is missing, it seems. That means not articulate. Correct? It's just trembling and some words are coming, some words are not coming. Very interesting. The way that, if my goodness, if we study Sanskrit, our whole view will change. Because this is the way. Ati aspashta vakta tasya lakshanam. Ati aspashta vakta. Aspashta. Not clear at all. Okay, not clear at all. You better speak up, articulate properly. Totally inarticulate ityartaha. Hopefully he changes because he's going to start speaking. I think next we're going to speak. Arjuna Vacha is coming. Hopefully it is not that inarticulate because we are supposed to study this also. And so, stammering, inarticulate. Why? But I thought he had this Vishwarupa Darshana, etc. He must be he's a special guy. Yeah, it's special guy. Swamiji Paramarthanandaji says, it is like ripe fruit. You're supposed to have become ripe through all this. But it's like artificial ripening. They use some chemicals, ethylene and some other chemicals they use to artificially ripen, trigger the ripening of the fruit, artificially, speed it up. And so that Arjuna's situation is like that, it seems. So you eat that fruit, it appears ripe to touch, but you smell it, there's no smell, and you eat it, and then you wonder, why did I find this fruit? Why are apples not tasting like apples anymore? Why are mangoes not tasting like mangoes anymore? Yeah, we are advanced civilization. Yeah. And so, Swamiji says, that is Arjuna's state. Pita bhitaha, with great fear. Great fear. Typical usage. Very afraid. Ityarthaha. Again, pranamya. Pranamya. Look at that. Natva. And then pra you put in front of nam. Pranamya, not pranatva. Correct? That is, Sanskrit students may appreciate this. Then, of course, na becomes prana due to that particular sutra. Patrani. Okay. Then aha. Another verb in between. Okay, aha. Don't forget that. Bhuya eva aha Krishna. Aha means said. Uktavan ityarthaha. So now it's Arjuna's turn is coming to speak, and bhakti is being indicated by these words, Kritanjalihi, Namaskritva, Pranamya. These words indicate bhakti born of awe, born of awe, that whatever I think I know is so limited. On top of that limited knowledge, I used to keep my collar up like this and say, I am somebody, I am somebody. That is even more childish, I think. And so that is the revelation here. So let's see the translation. Okay. Sanjaya said, hearing these words of Krishna, Arjuna, with folded hands, hearing these words of Krishna, Arjuna, with folded hands, trembling, saluting Krishna, saluting Krishna, being very afraid, and saluting again, spoke again in a faltering voice. Spoke again in a faltering voice. This is Buddha Swamiji's translation. Sanjaya said, hearing these words of Krishna, Arjuna with folded hands trembling, saluting Krishna, being very afraid, and saluting again, spoke again in a faltering voice. Arjuna uvacha, Girishti. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Hane Hrishikesha tava prakirtya.
Sthane Rishikesha tava prakirtya.
Jagat prahrishyathyanu prajyate cha.
Jagat prahrishyathyanu rajyate cha.
Rakshamsi bhitani disho dravanti.
Rakshamsi bidani disho dhravanti.
Sarve namastyanti cha siddha sangha.
Sarve namasyanti cha siddha sankhaha.
Hane Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Hane Hrishikesha tava prakirtya.
Tane Rishikesha tava prakirtya.
Jagat prahrishyatyanurajyate cha
Jagat pragrishyatyanurajyate cha
rakshamsi bhitani disho dravanti
Rekshamsi bidhani disho dravanti
sarve namasyanti cha siddha sanghaha.
Sarve namasyanti ja siddha sankhaha.
Yeah. So Arjuna is responding. And we will see the expression of Bhakti in the next few as he speaks. But fear is still there. Fear is not gone yet. Fear will be there. Fear will be there. Why fear will be there?
Because he has not come out of that shock of seeing Vishwarupa Darshana, various aspects of
Paroksha Ishvara. Something
Because he
else.
thinks he's different.
Shastra says Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhavati. Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhavati. When there is a second, that's it. Fear will set. That's all. Insecurity will be there. Then there is a second. So I am opposed to the second. Always opposed to the second. And so that's why fear will always be there. Okay. Therefore, there is no choice but to have a grasp of the totality. Correct? To really say, I am free from fear. Just have a grasp of the totality. It is like going into a dark room and you don't see anything and nothing is visible. You need that illumination. That whole thing must be clear. Then that's it. Then I'm okay. And so like that vision of the totality is not there for Arjuna yet. And so there is still fear. And so not that a jnani will not have the emotion of fear. Okay, be careful what we're saying. If fear means that is knee-jerk reactions will be there. And so sudden fear may be there. But then the jnani realizes that's a knee-jerk reaction. Correct? Knee-jerk reaction of all that I used to do all these janmas, that's how I reacted. And so that reaction has come, but I need to shake myself off. So therefore, that because of that absence of the clarity of the totality, fear will continue to be there. And so that Vishwarupa Drishti, Darshanam is there. And previously it was what? It was Aneka Rupa Drishti, right? Aneka Rupa or Eka Rupa. Eka Rupa means only one God. That's not our dharma, but some people say there's only one God. Eka Rupa Drishti. Still Paroksha only. Eka Rupa Drishti. Or in our dharma, Aneka Rupa Drishti. Many gods are there. Many devatas are there. You know. So Aneka Rupa Drishti. Then slowly coming to Vishwarupa Drishti. Vishwarupa Drishti means what? Hey, this whole world is a manifestation of Bhagavan. I am seeing Bhagavan right in front of me. I don't have to go anywhere to get this Bhagavad Drishti. This Vishwarupa Drishti. And the more clarity I gain on that, I'm going towards what? I'm going towards, from Vishwarupa Drishti, I'm going to go towards
Ekarupa.
Ekarupa.
Arup.
Arupa Drishti. Arupa Drishti. Yes, Nirgunam Brahma has no rupa. And I am that Brahma. So Atma has no rupa. So that's what we are after. So Arupa Drishti, Arupa Darshanam. And so without going through Vishwarupa Drishti, there cannot be Arupa Drishti. That is clear about that. And so, otherwise, fear will be there. That is why when we say science and progress and science and progress and science and progress, yeah, science progress is there. But what kind of progress, if somebody were to ask, then we must be clear about it. We must be clear. Science is the subject of understanding anatma, the world. Anything in the world, you can say black hole is out there, etc. Fine, that is also part of science only. It's not me, that is the idea. And so you can keep manipulating the world. The more you know about the world, the more I can manipulate the world also. And so more I can adjust the world to my convenience. And so this science gives a lot of comfort. And if I'm not careful, it will make me believe that I'm becoming happy. Science is making me happier and happier. And it's still not there yet. And I may end up believing something like, no, can't be possible. Why? Science only perpetuates that fear. It cannot remove fear completely. Psychology can help somewhat, but removal of fear is not possible by science. Something you can debate, argue, think about. And so then what? Shastra. That is where Shastra comes. So if somebody says, if a thinking person says Shastram, what do I get out of the Shastram? Okay, you talk about God and many gods, you talk about Swarga and all that. What do I get out of this? So then we should be able to say, Swarga also is Anatma. Swarga Vidya also is Aparavidya. Swarga Prapti is also a result of karma, because karma has 4 types of results. Now, Utpadyam, Apyam, Samskaryam and Vikaryam. Swarga going also is one of those 4. And that is why Krishna is able to say, Kshine Punya Swarga, Martyalokam Nishanti. All this we should be able to say. Okay? And therefore, Swarga Prapti is there because people want Swarga Prapti. People want to be happier somehow. Somehow happier. I'll be happy to do whatever you want me to do. If you can take me to Swarga, that idea is there. And that's called religious. Religion makes us do all that. Religion drives us towards Swarga. Most religions, I think all religions do that. And Hinduism is no different. Sanatana Dharma is no different there. And then it has one crown jewel. And that is Param Chet Praptavya. Param Chet
Vyaktavyam.
Jnatam. Param Chet Jnatam. Param is already there. Nasti Akritaha Kritena. Means that existence cannot be created, and that's what is you. And that is Param. That is infinite. It is limitless. So, thanks to that, Paroksha gives me fear. The only way to remove that fear is recognize Aparoksha. Paroksha. And that Purnatvam is what will take me out of that fear. And so, so I said this before. And when I was studying Vedanta, all these ideas were I was just so excited about studying this Vedanta. And then we go to a junior college. And it looked, see, you've got these hospitals called Methodist Hospital, etc. They're all, Methodist is a Christian name, obviously. You don't think twice about it. Then I went to a university to help somebody get some more information from that college. And as I was entering these bricks outside, they had some statements carved or stuck on it. And there, one statement caught my attention. As I was walking, I saw that right in front of me. It says, fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fear of the Lord, you can Google it. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. King James Bible will say that. Or some other legacy standard Bible might say, fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge. Like that they will say. Okay? When I saw that, it suddenly struck me. My God, what we say is exactly the opposite of that. But knowledge is the beginning of the end of fear of God. Fear of God is not moksha. Fear of God cannot give me moksha. And so that is shows, because even in our culture, we tell children, don't do this. God will do something to you. Correct? Kanna Kuttidu and all, I've heard. Kanna Kuttidu means God will poke my eyes and make me blind, it seems. Can you believe the statement? I don't know about you, but I've heard these statements. Maybe my parents didn't tell me that, but I've heard this very popular statement. God will do something nasty to you if you're not careful. And so that's the mindset we've grown up with. And the childhood mindset stays with us forever. And so that fear of God has to go away. When the fear of God goes, all fear is gone. Because that is the worst fear. Because I believe in God. And if I believe in God, then fear of God is the worst fear. And so that fear of God, fear of death, all that will go away. And so that's being indicated here. So sthane hrishikesha tava prakritya jagat pravishyati anurachyate cha rakshamsi bhitani, etc. We will see that in the next class. Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam kshobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhayaah om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya aso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya om purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate om shanti 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 harihi om shri gurubhyo namaha harihi om